Testing, testing, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hello and welcome back to the 2019 Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship, fueled by Petron. A little bit of confusion amongst the drivers as they come into their starting positions. This is just their green flag lap though, so nothing to worry about. They'll all have it sorted out by the time they come back around for the start of the race. You can see on pole position though, we've got number 36, that's Mira Erda. Just behind her, number 9, that's Sneha Sharma. And on third position on the row, we've got, looks to be Muiz Mishaffer actually. And we'll have to have a look down the grid now. Let's go through the positions. Yes, indeed, Muiz Mishaffer in third. 4th, Alice Young in the number 22. Just behind him, Mohammed Ibrahim and Shihab Al-Habsi. That's your top 5, and Luke Allen, Yash Ardia, and Elias Apanin, of course, rounding out the rest of the grid. Fantastic, we're all ready to go. You can see that up on your screens now. This starting order is determined by the reverse of the finishing positions from the first race. Of course, you have to be within a 120% time of the fastest. You have to be within 110% of the fastest lap set in the previous race to qualify. Looks like everybody needs to move forwards a little bit here, just get into their grid boxes correctly. While they all do that, let's have a quick chat about Mira Erda. Mira joining us this weekend. For the second time this season, she did an event at Event 2 in Sepang, quite well for herself there. She's up on pole position now, with Sneha Sharma in second alongside her. These two ladies fighting, of course, for the leading lady category, which Sneha is currently leading. Just behind them, we've got Yash Ardia and Alice Young. Alistair performing very well last time around, but like a lot of the other drivers on the grid, not quite managing to find the way past the man in front of him. As we've said, all the drivers were about 6/10 within about 6/10 of each other, but there was just no space to find a way past, and unfortunately sometimes that happens. Perhaps wisely, these drivers deciding not to make a move unless they're 100% sure about it, and that's why we didn't have any incidents, and everybody got to finish the race, and we got to see Elias Apanin up on top. I think it was his first time on pole position. He led from there, and a fantastic race from him, really, as it was a brilliant start to the weekend, and can't wait to see what's going to happen this session. So everybody seems to be pretty much settled now. Hopefully we'll get the green flag live in just a moment. We should be able to see on the left of your screen a green flag being waved, or I might be able to see it outside the commentator's window. You can see the marshals seem to have left the track now. Everybody's revving up. There you go, green flag lap, away we are. You can see the green flag being waved. That basically just means this is still just a warm-up lap. Don't worry about it, we're coming back around and we're going to stop on the grid, and then we'll have the proper formation. The red lights will all go on, and as they go out, we will be underway once again for the 18th race of the season. Here we go though, Mira now bringing us through turn 12, turn 2 I should say, as everybody's just preparing their cars, warming up their tires, getting everything in peak operating condition, and I'm sure of course trying to mentally prepare themselves as well. All of our drivers really professional hands at this point, and except for perhaps Mohammed Ibrahim, who's this is his first weekend, and he's starting from 5th this time around in front of Shihab Al-Habsi, Luke Allen, Yash Adia, and Elias Apanin. So he's going to have his work cut out for him to defend from them and try and make something happen, maybe to get himself up into the top spot. Of course, he's already been second rookie this weekend, and that's good for him, but it's not good enough, as he said himself, and he's expecting to get up onto the podium by the end of the weekend, and we hope he does just that. Coming around turn 6 now, we can see the procession leading us through on the green flag lap still, with the red number 34 of Shihab Al-Habsi from Oman on your screens at the moment. Just in front of them would be Mohammed Ibrahim, Alice Young, and Muiz Mushafa. Muiz Mushafa had an unfortunate first race. He was fastest in testing, did well in qualifying, and everything just seemed to disappear in race 1, so not sure what happened. Didn't get a chance to talk to him in between sessions because there's only a 2-hour gap this weekend, unfortunately, but hopefully everything will go right for him in this race. Might be able to find his way up into first, and might be enough to keep himself there until the end of the race, but that would mean he would start race 3 from the back, so you know there's a little bit of a take in racing. Let's have a quick look at the race 4 starting positions to see what that would mean. So in race 4, Muiz is starting in 4th because of his second fastest time for qualifying. Yash Ardia is starting in 3rd because of his second fastest time in qualifying. And Luca Allen and Elias Panin on the front row. Elias on pole position once again, so that's good news for Finland and Ireland, and not so bad news for Malaysia because it means they might be up on the podium 2 or 3 times this weekend. Of course, we can't forget about Alistair Young. He actually set the fastest lap in the last race, if I'm not mistaken. He seemed pretty chuffed about that, and all the engineers very happy as well. He was actually faster than the Omani driver in the red number 34 just in front of him. Not by much, but definitely a little bit faster, and he was trying to get past the man, but just couldn't quite make it happen because it's really is a very difficult circuit to overtake, very technical. But we did see a lot of overtaking between Alessandro Giorgi, Kane Sheff, and Shaffa last year here in Madras Motor Racetrack, the first time we ever came here, in fact, and maybe we'll see something happen again, and this will be the race to have it happen in, because Mira Erda and Sierra Jama are on the front row for the first time this weekend. Looks like somebody's got a problem though. I can see somebody waving their hands. They may have bought the start. The lights aren't coming on, but everybody's still revving. They don't understand the race start has been aborted. Yep, there we go. Race start's been aborted. Number 33, that's Mohammed Ibrahim, seems to be waving his hands. I'm sure the mechanics will be allowed to go and tend to him to see what the problem is before we have the race start. Looks like Mira Erda is waving her hands as well. She may have over-revved a little bit during that aborted start, so she probably just wants to make sure somebody comes over and checks everything's okay with her. Just give us a few minutes, folks, as we try and find out exactly what's happening here. Of course, the team on track now. Looks like Ibrahim's good to go. Everybody's come back in. Mira seemed to just be double checking everything was okay. Everybody's revving up. Let's have a look at the lights. They're going to go on red in just a few seconds as soon as the marshals clear the track. Here we are. You can see everybody just settling back in. A little bit mental stress there, I'm sure, for all the drivers as they now prepare for the, I suppose it's not a restart, but they prepare to start the race once again. There we go, red lights are on, and as they go out, we will be underway. Mira getting away, Sneha getting away very well indeed. That's the purple car on the right-hand side of your screen. Alistair Young trying to make a move up the inside of Muiz Mushafa, decides against it as they come through turn 1. I believe this is the start of the race now as Luke Allen now leads us through. Well, I shouldn't say he leads us through, but this is Luke Allen on screen in the blue number 3 coming through turn 1. Mira Erda is still at the front of the pack. This might be, sorry, I believe this is actually just another formation lap. It doesn't look to be racing to me. Let's have a quick check. Let's have a quick check to see what's happening. Green flag lap. Green flag. Okay. So it looks, at least to me, on our timing board, so the race has been stopped. I don't have any communication with race control, unfortunately, so I can't quite clarify that yet, but we are working on getting an answer for you. It definitely doesn't seem like anybody's racing. It's we're going at too slow a pace. It seemed like we were about to have the start of the race, but then the race start was aborted, so I assume what we're going to do is one more warm-up lap just to make sure everything's good, and when we take the positions once again, that will be the proper race start. Of course, Mira Erda at the front of the grid still. She did put her hands up, but I think she was just doing that to try and find out what was going on after the start was aborted, because I believe Mohammed Ibrahim put his hands up indicating he had some kind of problem, perhaps stalling on the grid. Nothing to worry about though, as everybody, as you can see, is going strong now, and we come around turn 9B down into turn 10, 2 corners left before we retake our positions at the start-finish straight, and very soon we'll be underway and we'll get to see what all of these drivers have to deliver this afternoon. Mira Erda there in the yellow number 36 car coming around turn 12 with Sneha Sharma just behind her in the purple number 9. Sneha had a big accident here earlier on yesterday morning, or yesterday evening I should say, in qualifying at the corner just before there, just near the bridge where she went into the wall, but not to worry, they got her car back together, everything's good to go, and now she's racing and she's doing a fantastic job. She's the leading lady in the first race of the weekend on starting from second this race, and perhaps she'll get up onto the podium position, and it'll be good to see that, and hopefully a fantastic race. Everybody seems to have taken their position now though. You can see the green flag marshal waving the flag at the back of the grid. Okay, there we go, everybody's clear. Engines on, here we are, red lights on. This moment will be underway as they go out. Here we go, we're on the way. And fantastic start from Alice Young, who's going to go around the outside of Muiz Mustafa and Sneha Sharma coming up into turn 1. Now he's going to dive up the inside. Can he take Mira Erda as well as that? 4 positions in one corner. Fantastic driving there from the Malaysian as Muiz Mustafa goes around the outside of Sneha Sharma, and it looks to me he's going to be up into second position coming into turn 2 if he can make it stick. No, not quite. He's pushed up on the inside by Sneha, and it looked like another car, another blue car perhaps, was trying to go up around the outside of all 3 of them at corner 2. What's going to happen here? Sneha Sharma still defending her position from the man behind her. That's Shihab Al-Habsi. It was Shihab Al-Habsi, ladies and gentlemen, who went around the outside of everyone at turn 2. Fantastic driving from him. He's all up behind Sneha Sharma as Yash Adia, all up behind his his compatriot in orange racing car, Muiz Mustafa as well. Going around the outside at turn 4. He's got the better line now through turn 5, but he's boxed in by Sneha Sharma. He's got nowhere to go, while Luca Allen in the blue number 3 just behind those 2 orange cars tries to make a move as well, and Muiz Mustafa going a little bit wide. They're going to get stuck in the dirt. Beautiful driving there from Luca Allen, who goes up the inside at turn 6. Going to close the door coming out of turn 7, while Shihab Al-Habsi leads this race, ladies and gentlemen, from Mira Erda and Sneha Sharma, who's managing to keep several drivers behind herself, as well as Mohammed Ibrahim seems to have a good start and is going strong coming out of 7B and down into turn 8, where we have 3 cars wide now, orange, blue and purple. That's Sneha Sharma losing out to what looks to be must be Luca Allen, and the orange car, I believe that would be Yash Adia. Just behind them, Muiz Mustafa seems to be having a little bit of trouble keeping Sneha Sharma and Elias Sapanin behind him. Elias not having the best start today. He's stuck behind all of this traffic, and Sneha going to do everything she can to keep him behind herself as well. As we come up over the bridge and down into turn 12 with Mira Erda still leading in second position as Alice Young crosses the start plate. As we said at the beginning of the lap, at the beginning of the race, even Alice Young up into first position from 4th on the grid in the first corner. Fantastic driving for him as Yash Adia now, again, it's a little bit of a repeat of the last session where Luke Allen seems to be stuck behind Yash Adia. It might have collided with somebody, because I think I saw some damage to his front wing on the left hand side as we come through turn 3 now with Alice Young bleeding us up through the kink as well, and Shihab Al-Habsi just behind him. Let's have a look at the lap times. Let me just refresh our timing board. Here we go, let's have a quick look. Yes, definitely we can see on screen now Luke Allen has some damage to his front wing on the left hand side. Hasn't lost the end plate though, that's hanging on. That might actually be worse news for him, because he's at a very bad angle for him now. Unfortunate news from Ireland, but he does seem to be continuing strong. I'm sure Luke is going to do exactly that, but he's going to be at a disadvantage to all the other drivers. Let's have a look at the starting lap times just for fun. Let's have a look at it. 1:43.961 from Alice Young and a 1:45.730 from Shihab Al-Habsi. So Shihab already a little bit further back. Nothing he can do about that. There was traffic in his way, but as we come around to the next lap, we'll have a real indication of the pace of all the drivers in this race, and we'll have to see what's going to happen, because in the first sector, Shihab Al-Habsi sets the fastest first sector of the race so far, with a 32.690. That's 2/10 faster than anyone else on track. Fantastic driving from him. As a little bit of a reverse from the last session now. Alice Young is going to have to defend from Shihab Al-Habsi, and Yash Adia just behind him, and Luke Allen behind them as well, while Elias Sapanin is still stuck a little bit further down the grid. Last we saw him, he was stuck behind the number 9 car, but he's gotten past them now, and he's up into what would be 6th position behind Muiz Mustafa. He's not going to have an easy time getting past the Malaysian there, but he may be able to do it, and if he can start tracking down the men in front of him. But Luke Allen and Yash Adi are not going to make it easy for him to get up onto the podium. And if everything stays as it is, Yash Adi will be the only one of 3 up on the podium, and Luke Allen is going to suffer from that right wing. That wing, you can see that Muiz Mustafa already closing in on the man in front of him. Luke Allen probably due because of that damage to come through turn 3 now with Alistair Young and up into the kink before the end of the first sector down into turn 4. Here we go, very, very, very nice line there through that corner with Alistair. This I would imagine this is flat in these cars as we come through now with Shihab Al-Habsi trying to close in on the man in front of him. Let's have a look at the lap times as they crossed the start-finish straight. Let me just refresh the screens and see what's going on. Yeah, we got a 1:40.123 from Alistair Young. So Alistair, fastest man on track at the moment, found his time in the second sector, doing 41.794 seconds, just about 4/10 faster actually than Shihab Al-Habsi. Shihab lapping in the 1:41 still, so a little bit slower that time around. Yash, Luca, Elias, and Muiz all in the 140s though. So Shihab's got to find something. He may have gone off a little bit. That's entirely possible coming around one of these corners. So he may have gone off just a little bit. You can see the gap between him and Alistair is quite substantial. And the gap back to Yash is significant as well. All these drivers are going to have to really pull. Oh, look, we've missed an overtake. Muiz Mustafa up into 4th position, finding his way past Luke Allen. As we said, Luca's struggling because of the damage to his wing. Elias Sapan is going to be all over the back of him now. That's very good news for Muiz because he's not going to have to worry about defending from the Irishman who has been the bane of his existence this weekend so far. As we come past the start-finish straight once again with Alistair Young, I'll refresh this timing grid right now and we'll get to see exactly what time he's doing in just a moment. Before then, let's have a quick look back at the action. Shihab Al-Habsi coming through in 2nd position. Yash Adia in the orange number 17 in 3rd. Muiz Mustafa in the orange number 13 in 4th. Behind them, Luke Allen and Elias Sapan tussling for the championship fight as Muiz Mustafa is going to have to try and start catching up to the man in front of him, who would be Yash Adia if he wants to get up onto the podium this weekend for the first time, and we hope he does because it'd be fantastic to see him have some success here after not the best weekend here last year. Coming through the kink now, Yash Adi in the orange number 17 trying to track down the man in front of him as well. Of course, we know he finished strong, finishing in 2nd position last time around. He was hoping to get up onto the top spot this race, but it may not be possible because the men in front of him are blisteringly quick. Alex Young doing a 1:39.661 last time around, and Shihab Al-Habsi answering with a 1:40.231. So Alistair really finding a lot of time in this session. 6/10 faster than the man behind him, and really the fastest man on track. The only person into the 1:39s, and doing so by 4/10. Fantastic drive from him as we come around what looks to be turn 8 now with that would be Yash Adi on. Oh, that would be Muiz Mustafa, and looks like there's going to be a move with Elias Sapan going around the outside of turn 8 on Luke Allen. No, Luke Allen doesn't let that happen at all. He says, "No, thank you. No, thank you very much, my friend." And he leads us through turn 9 once again as looks like Muiz is breaking away from them and trying to catch up to the man in front of him, the orange number 17 of Yash Adia. Yash doing a 1:40.062, Muiz doing a 1:40.789, so it's not fast enough to make anything happen just yet. But the Malaysian, as we know, just comes alive in the second half of all these races, and he's going to give Yash what for coming through on the perhaps on lap 4 or 5 as we come now with Luke Allen still defending from Elias Sapan as they cross the start finish line. Fantastic drive here from Luke to keep the fin behind him, especially considering how quick he's been this weekend. So come through turn 3 now with Alistair Young in the pink number 22 car up into the kink once again as it looks like the spin. Mira Erda there seems to have spun at turn 12. Yeah, indeed, she's stuck in the middle of the start-finish straight. She doesn't seem to be able to start going again. She may have lost. She may not have held in the power. No, she has. She's got the car going. She's going to turn it around. She's going to keep going. The marshal's looking to see if she needs any assistance. She's off the track now. She's not going to have enough space though to turn around. She's got it going. There we go. Fantastic. She's rejoining the race. Nothing to worry about. We can keep racing without any incident. As Alistair Young leads us through what seems to be turn 7B. That's the little king car on the exit of turn 7, just ahead of Shihab Al-Habsi in the red number 34 car. You can see the beautiful pink there leading us through turn 8. This angle really shows you the gap between the two drivers. It's quite substantial now. Unfortunately, Mira now out of her car on the start-finish straight, so we're probably going to have to red flag the session and until that car can be recovered because it is in a dangerous position and it cannot be allowed to stay there. I can see the yellow flags already being waved, double yellow flags. There we go, safety car is out. Safety car is out, so that means everything's going to stop, all the racing is going to stop, everyone has to stay in position as Alistair Young comes around turn 12 now and is safely passed with no incident. The safety car will remain on track. Fortunately, Mira managed to get the car close to a recovery point, so I'm sure it won't take very long to push the car back off the track, and in a lap or so we'll be able to continue racing. But until then, we're on the safety car to make sure that everything's okay. Coming back through turn 1 now, we've got Luke Allen, the blue number 3 car. This is good news for him because Elias Sapanen was all over the back of his car in the last lap, and he had his work cut out for him, especially with that damaged front wing. But now he's got a little bit of a breather, a little bit of time to take stock of his situation, make a plan for the rest of the race. Let's have a look if they're going to pause the timer. It does look like we've paused at 9 minutes and 1 second when the safety car came out, so presumably then we will return to racing with 9 minutes on the clock when the safety car comes back in. That's good news. That's actually not good news for Luke Allen because it means he's going to have to fight to keep Elias Sapanen behind him, but he may be able to come up with a strategy during the safety car period. I can see Mira Era's car has already been recovered, so I assume that means that the safety car will come in this lap and we'll be back to racing. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, when the safety car lights go off, then Alistair Young in the pink number 22, the leader of the race, effectively becomes the safety car himself. He controls the pace until they cross the start-finish straight, and then we resume racing as normal. Coming around turn 8 now, you can see Alistair Young. He's not going to be happy about this because he had a substantial lead to the Omani driver behind him, and Yasser Ardia had a bit of a gap between himself and the Shihab as well, and there was a gap. We were a little bit spread out is what I'm trying to say, although not quite managing to find the words to say it, unfortunately. But now everything has been bunch packed up by this safety car, so it's terrible news for Alistair Young because everybody's going to be right up behind him trying to find a way past him, and these drivers are not going to give him any space at all. They're going to find anything they can do to find a way to get past him. That's what this is all about. You can see the green flag being waved now. Everybody's back up to racing speed. And as we cross the start-finish straight, we're underway once again with the pink number 22 of Alistair Young leading us through turn 1. Shihab Al-Habsi just behind him. Yash Adia in third position. Luis Mashafra fourth. Luke Allen and Elias Sapanen. Coming around into turn 2 now. Can anybody make anything happen? Nobody's quite close enough to do so. Perhaps wisely deciding not to make a maneuver unless they're 100% certain they can keep it on track and keep the cars going safely. As we come up through the kink now, everyone returning to say you can see the damage already that's been done to Luke. His wing is quite substantial. He's having to defend as well from Elias Sapanen, so the first 4 cars on the grid, Alistair Young, Shihab Al-Habsi, Yash Adia and Muiz Mashafra, of course, already starting to pull away from the men in 4th and 5th position as Alistair Young leads us through turn 5 and up into turn 6 and 7, which is this large, wide U-turn type corner. Coming into the exit of the corner is 7B, that's the little kink in the corner there, so you can see everybody going a little bit wide. Yash perhaps sticking his tail out a little bit. Some of the drivers cut that corner a little bit tighter than others. Alessandro Giretti last year was a little bit famous for going extremely wide, right off, almost off of the track at some point. You can see 2 orange cars there. That would be Muiz Mashafra and Yash Adia trying to make a maneuver at turn 8. Can they make it stick? Be fantastic news for Malaysia if Muiz manages to do so. Hard to make out the difference between the two, but Muiz is in number 13. That's the car just behind the orange number 17. You can see him trying to go around the outside, around the inside, every which way in the previous few corners. A little bit too far back to make anything happen at turn 10. And turn 11 and 12 is almost impossible to overtake, I would imagine. But coming up into turn 1, Muiz might be able to make an attempt and possibly find his way past the Indian in 3rd position as we come down the start-finish straight once again with 6 minutes left on the leaderboard. Let's see what Muiz can do. He's tucked in nicely. He's got the slipstream coming through turn 1. He's handling it very well through the sector, and Yash sticks his tail out just an inch coming onto the exit. So might be indicative of Muiz putting the pressure on the Indian just ahead of him as we come wide again with Alistair Young coming out of the turn 2. To the rumble strip there, although all the drivers seem to be following a similar line, so maybe that was intentional. As Shihab Al-Habsi trying to catch up to the man in front of him, obviously didn't have that great of a restart because Alistair Young still in position. As Shihab locks up coming into the 4th corner and takes the line nicely through turn 5 and is just going to continue racing and wait for his opportunity to pounce on Alistair Young and the pink number 22 just ahead of him. Alistair doing a 139.455 last time around, and Shihab Al-Habsi doing 139.485. That's 0.3 of a second separating the two. fantastic driving for both, but Alistair Young still the fastest man on track as Maurice Mchafer goes very wide indeed coming out of turn 7. He had a little bit of an incident last year there, did a similar thing, but that pulled him right off the track, and I believe it beached him in the dirt out there. As we come around turn 9 now with Alistair Young still at the front of the grid, Shihab Al-Habsi trying to make something happen, but interestingly it is Elias Apanin or Luca Allen even setting the fastest first sector time. Especially interesting to see he's doing that with his front wing just hanging off as it is. As we come around turn 10 now, up into the right-handed turn 11 that goes up over the bridge. Down the bridge already is Alistair Young in the purple, or the pink I should say, number 22, leading us once again this lap down the main straight with Shihab Al-Habsi, and just behind him let's have a quick refresh of the timing screens to check what time we're doing. Seems like they haven't been updated just yet, but Shihab Al-Habsi isn't fazed by that. He's going to keep the man in front of him in his sights. He's going to find a way to get past him, just wait for an opportunity, wait for a mistake, and make this happen as the pink number 22 car leads us around turn 3. Once again, up into the kink. This is a fantastic section of corners. Makes up the first sector of the track, which is cut just before the fourth corner, which we're coming into now. And Yash Adia and Maurice Mchafer still battling for third position. Maurice really wants this. You can tell it. You can tell from his face after the last race he really wants to be up onto the podium, and he's going to have to fight with Yash to make that happen. But with only 4 minutes left on the board, I'm not sure if he can actualize that dream. As we come around turn 5 and up into turn 6 now, there we go. We've seen overtaking here already, actually this race, and we saw plenty of overtaking in that corner last season. As we come around the exit now, you can see Elias is just so close up behind Luke Allen, but Luke is just holding on, keeping the fin behind him, and hoping he can do that for another 2 or 3 minutes until the end of the race. 2 minutes and 58 seconds to be exact, as we come around with look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Alistair Young and Shihab Al-Habsi both set an identical time, 1:39, 1:37. I'm not even sure how that's possible. That's how close the racing is between these youngsters. As we come through turn 11 now, with Yash Adia managing to hold off from Malaysia's Maurice Mchafer for yet another lap down the bridge into turn 12. I've always wanted to see an overtake here, and usually when I say that, these young drivers make it happen for me, but they haven't done so just yet. As we come through the start-finish rate, once again Alistair Young in the first position, behind him Shihab Al-Habsi. Then the battle for third is number 17 and number 13. That's Yash Adia and Maurice Mchafer in the orange cars. Maurice all over the back of the local Indian hero Yash Adia, but not managing to find a way past. Unfortunately, several drivers struggling with the same kind of thing this weekend, or at least so far, but there's 2 more races to go today. And of course, we're back next week with another 4 races and free practice and qualifying for you, so don't go away just yet because there's plenty of action still to come. Let's have a look a little bit further down the grid though. Yash Adia still in the 140s, doing a 140.13. It's about 9/10 off the man in front of him. May have decided to, he's focusing on defending for Maurice Mchafer, who's doing a 140.231, a little bit slower than the Indian, but enough to be right up behind him. So I'm not sure what to advise him, because I'm not half as experienced as these young drivers on the track, and I'm glad for it. It's much better to be up here watching this action with all of you, because it's fantastic to see all these young drivers striving to reach their potential. As we come around turn 8 now, once again with the Yash Adia in the orange number 17, managing to hold off still from Maurice Mchafer, as Alistair Young goes a little bit wide, really using all the space available to him coming on the exit of turn 9 down into turn 9B now with the orange number 17 of Yash Adia leading Maurice Mchafer through the final sector of the race once again. Let's see what we've got. About 2 minutes left on the board, so this is probably going to be the last lap. Let's see if we can see the sign being given to the drivers. Nope, I didn't see a last lap board, which means we're going to have 2 more laps as we come through turn 1 now. Yash Adia still leading Maurice Mchafer, I should say, but you can see the gap is really diminishing as Elias Apanin has obviously found his way past Luke Allen. Luke held on as long as he possibly could, but it just wasn't enough as Alistair Young leads us through turn 3 once again up into the kink, kicking it a little bit tighter than he did last time around, as Shihab Al-Habsi of course trying to find his way past the man at the front of the grid, as he has been trying to do from the very first lap. He set a 1:32.291 last time, 1:39.291 last time around, which is 1/100th of a second faster than the man in front of him, but the gap is 1 second from the leader to second position, so that's just not enough. It's too little too late from the Omani to get into the top spot, which is fantastic news for Malaysia. But there may be more good news on the way, as Moiz Mashaffer trying to find his way up into third position. He's within striking distance of the Indian in the orange number 17 car. That's Yash Adi, who had a fantastic first race here this weekend, finishing second. Now he's in third, but Moiz Mashaffer may have something to say about that as we come through the final sector of the race now, with Alistair Young in the pink number 22 car still leading us. In fact, going extremely wide there. That may be a little bit cheeky coming on the exit there onto the slip road as we come into turn 9B. With you can see the gap between number 17 and number 13 is really almost non-existent. Looks to me like they've got the checkered flag out, so this is going to be the last. Well, this is already the last lap as Alistair Young comes around turn 12. Fantastic news for Malaysia. I shouldn't give him the commentator's curse, but there's really nothing that could possibly go wrong. His hands already up in the air, and he's taking the flag, and he's overjoyed. Fantastic racing there from Alistair Young, the pink number 22 car. As Shihab Al-Habsi finishes in second position, Yash Adi in third, Moiz Mashaffer in fourth, Elias Sapanan in fifth, Luke Allen in sixth, Mohammed Ibrahim in seventh, and Sneha Sharma bringing us into eighth position as we come through the final lap now for these drivers, their cool down lap, and they will join us in the pit lane very soon for the podium celebration. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.